So
you ready?
Oh, you're Gotham. We heard about you.
Oh my gosh.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You could have something to drink and go upstairs and get stoned. Like, why? Why? Without any thought, of course, classic.
Oh, yeah.
And then put that together. I was like, I'm going to do this with my store, and I'm going to rethink cannabis, and that's that.
Hey, we're here at Gotham, which is a legal dispensary in New York, and I'm with my friend Joanne,
Yes.
who started it.
Yes.
Fun fact, Joanne was our very first investor, and and is an obsessed cook. If you follow her on Instagram, she's constantly cooking and baking. And I'm so excited to get a tour of the store.
I am so excited to hear it. And I'm very excited that you're going to try this. I know you're not a stoner,
I'm not.
but you are going to be a CBDer very soon.
Okay, it's a CBD milk chocolate, salted caramel. It's delicious.
And I am smoking a Illuminati from Flower House, which I think is one of the best farms in New York.
What makes a good farm?
Good weed.
Wait, so but the thing that's interesting about your store, your dispensary, is that it's not just a dispensary.
It is not just
It's
a
like a
dispensary.
lifestyle store.
It is. We don't really compete with anyone. Like once our customer comes, they're our customer for life. Because it's a very different experience. We have tons of events. We have all these products, certain products you can't even get in this country. We only carry them. We have to really change the narrative. And the narrative is it's part of our lifestyle. Why can't we have food too? Like, why can't I be attached to a restaurant and like you could have something to drink and go upstairs and get stoned? Like, why? Why? Now that I'm stoned, I can be super chatty. Okay, so this piece here is from David Shrigley. It's called The Smoker, and I thought it was genius, and I bought it, and now it's going to play in all of our stores.
So how does this work? Like, do you have to have like a hall
You have
pass to come in, or kind of?
You have to have a license. It
Okay.
says you're 21.
Oh,
and then
okay.
we check you in, and
Okay.
we capture your information, which is your phone number and your email, and then you can get points, and you can become part of the team, and you can get invited to all the events, and you get our newsletter that comes out every day. So we're really looking this more like a community-based business. I mean, similar to you do. I bring up Food 52 a lot.
Yeah.
We carry a bunch of different lines. A lot of it is just like kind of hip streetwear.
Yeah, awesome.
And super cool stuff. But this is another area. This is all our private label.
Okay, great.
So,
Okay, so you've got candles.
we have candles. Well, I always want it to be a little more sophisticated like this.
Yeah.
So this is our next line. This is super cool. This is CBD.
Okay.
So all of these are our own fragrances. I think we're a little ahead of the CBD situation, even in terms of our lotions. Like there's no other luxury products that are doing CBD in their products, which makes a huge difference. If you put it on your skin every day, you will see a difference. I was in Paris and saw them in a restaurant. And I was like, oh my God, these are so clever. And he popped one in my bag. I came home and said, hey, we should do this. And then we have all these like, Canada
Beautiful.
products like this and this and this, bongs, ashtrays, lighters.
Do you have like one bestseller?
UU does really well for
Yeah.
us. That I think it's priced well and it's really easy to understand and very likable across the board. We have cookbooks. I think some of the best cookbooks. We have great books about weed. We have beautiful, street art. Like we've got a Kahinda Wiley book over here. Ella did her first gallery show here.
Oh, cool.
So let's go
let's
see
see
it.
it. Yeah.
So we have had a bunch of gallerists here, and every month we do something different. And in Chelsea, we're going to probably have like a gallery off of us, but we're doing art that I think is much more not expensive.
It's like more accessible.
More accessible. This one's my favorite of her.
Which one?
She's keeping for herself.
Yeah. Is she? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're a knitter though, right? Aren't you?
I've knit, I've crocheted, but like,
Yeah, no, I know. It's like I'm a
done
knitter
it.
too, but I look at that and I think like, how?
The fuck did you do that?
How? So can you talk a little bit about like why it's important to go to a legal dispensary? And do you know how many there are in New York City?
There's probably around 30 something at this point in New York City, and that includes downline Brooklyn and Queens.
Yeah.
But I could
So
be,
not many.
This could be very generous on my hand saying that because they've given out licenses, but people haven't opened. The importance is that we are all legal dispensaries, which means that we buy our weed from New York. It's all vertical. So if you're in Nevada, you have to buy from Nevada farmers. And so you're supporting your local New Yorkers, which I think is super important. Also been tested by the government, so you know what you're getting, and we're paying the taxes. that is good for education and other different things, and also paying federal taxes, which are utterly absurd and need to be changed. And then we are competing with illegal markets. You don't know where the shit is coming from. If you have it tested, you'll find a lot of it has mold or E. coli. I would not put that stuff in my body. And so at least you know when you're buying here, you're safe.
I went to your blog,
Okay.
which I followed, and I think you had like contact me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just reach out. And you answered, like very quickly, as you always do. And you're like, let's get coffee. And then I think I literally pitched you right away.
You did?
Yeah. And you're like, okay, I'm in. How many businesses do you think you've invested in? Like so many.
160.
160 businesses. Yeah. Like,
Just Works was extremely memorable, and that is like a
huge.
huge. It'll make up for every penny I invested times 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Do you cook much with marijuana or no? No.
I
Do
mean,
you make
I
brownies
go like
or
this
like that?
and then I cook.
Yeah.
When I use the word marijuana, it's when I'm talking about something that happened like in the 40s or 50s.
Oh,
'Cause
why?
that's what they
really?
did, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I'm
Cannabis.
like so out of
I
it.
just weed. What do you call it?
Weed.
Weed.
I don't know. I didn't like. I
My
just.
old Jewish grandmother used to call it the pot.
Okay, so we're here with Wiley, and he knows a lot about cooking with weed,
Yes,
or
I do.
the pot, as his. is
The
it your-
pot, as my grandmother would say.
Are there certain flavors or like kinds of food groups that it does better with than others?
I would say when it comes to cooking with weed, anything that has large amounts of fat,
Oh.
butter, weed really clings onto fat really well,
Okay.
and that's how it kind of processes through the liver. Cannabis, when it's in its raw form,
Yeah.
if it hasn't been heated up, it actually won't give you any psychoactive sort of feeling. The raw flower itself, it wouldn't break down in your body. You wouldn't get any effect from it.
Okay.
So when you're cooking, I generally decarb flour before, which is kind of I'm heating it on a super low temperature for about 30 or 40 minutes,
Okay.
which kind of releases the THC. So when you mix it into butter or coconut oil or whatever, it's already been activated, so the THC will release better into whatever sort of fat or lipid you're trying to infuse. This is from Marijuana Farms, New York. Something like this Air Force One right here, which in my opinion is the funniest cross of strains I've ever seen. Obama Kush X Trump 100. 2 summers ago,
Yeah.
I was making ice cream.
Uh-huh.
So I would infuse it into the heavy cream.
You would decarb it, then put it into the cream?
Yes.
Got it.
This brand here, Chef for Hire, he's actually a legacy brand. So he started years ago on the unlicensed market doing infused dinners throughout New York City. And he has his own space as well. So he has come forward with infused olive oil, infused coconut oil, and infused honey. And so
Oh,
this
got it,
one
okay.
is more of like a finishing oil. If you used it to cook, it would possibly burn off some of the THC.
Okay.
So this would be great for salad dressings, pesto, hummus. What I've seen mostly is weed is still primarily in the sweet side. People love doing baked good, cookies, brownies, ice cream.
Yeah.
But you are with people like Chef for Hire, Hawaii Mike. He is kind of bridging that gap and getting more into the savory side of things. When it comes to stuff like this, because it's so high in THC, 240 milligrams per jar, you want to be really, really light
Judicious,
and
yeah.
if anything, you could go 1 parts regular olive oil to 1 parts this olive oil, because you really only need a little bit.
So you're opening up next where?
Domino Sugar Factory.
That's right.
Yes.
When's that going to be?
Well, we just gave them the word today, so we can start building.
So in honor of 420, I'm super excited to be here, and just wondering, like, do you guys have anything special going on?
We have so much going on.
Yeah.
So we have a huge block party, which will be at Upside Pizza, which is on the corner of Mulberry and Spring. We'll have a couple special guest music stars.
Perfect.
And then we also are going to have 2 bicycles. They're like tricycles. We'll wrap with our products, selling 420 hats and all of our merch. Also in front, we're going to have ice cream from Upside, from Soft Serve.
Ooh.
And vanilla ice cream that will be dipped with a little CBD oil or CBD honey.
Okay.
And then sprinkles that look like little marijuana leaves. You can follow us at gotham.ny, which is on Instagram. And
Are you on TikTok?
We are on TikTok too, and I think it's the exact same URL.
Yep.
And then if you ever need any information, it's info@gotham.nyc.
We're on East 3rd Street here.
Yep, 3 East 3rd Street. Next place to open will be at Domino's Sugar Factory on Kent and 2nd. And then we'll see more coming your way soon. We have delivery, we'll do weddings. There's a bunch of different things we're doing.
Amazing.
So we're super excited.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for doing this. This is so great.